Hi, how are you doing? This is Pastor Cheryl. I'm out in my backyard, and because the meditation garden is quite a trip from here. So we are doing, it's Friday afternoon, and we are doing another kind of a little homily. And I've done this over and over again, and I just don't think I can get it quite right. So anyway, we're going through a Bible study. This is Luke 2:21 through 52. And it's the circumcision of Jesus and the presentation in the temple. Sounds easy, right? But I have a few things I would like to say about it. And it starts verse 21. And at the end of the 8 days, when he was circumcised, he was called Jesus, the name given by the angel before he was conceived in the womb. And when the time came for their purification according to the law of Moses, they brought him up to Jerusalem to present him to the Lord, as it was written in the law of the Lord, every male that opens up the womb shall be called holy to the Lord, and offer sacrifice according to what is said in the law of the Lord, a pair of turtle doves or 2 young pigeons. Now there was a man in Jerusalem whose name was Simon, and this man was righteous and devout, looking for the consolation of Israel, and the Holy Spirit was upon him, and had been revealed to him by the Holy Spirit he should not see death before he had seen the Lord Christ. And inspired by the Spirit, he came to the temple, and when the parents brought the child Jesus for him according to custom of the law, he took him up in his arms and blessed God and said, Lord, now lettest thou thy servant depart in peace, according to thy word. For my eyes have seen thy salvation, which has prepared the presence of all people, a light of revelation to the Gentiles for the glory of the people Israel. And his father and his mother marveled at what was said about him. And Simon blessed them, and said to Mary his mother, Behold, this child is set for the fall and rising of many in Israel, for a sign that is spoken against. And a sword will pierce through his own soul, your own soul also. I think it's making a statement about, Jesus getting pierced in the side during the crucifixion. That thoughts out many hearts been revealed. As you can see, my backyard is never totally quiet. There was a prophetess, Anna, daughter of Phanuel, of the tribe of Asher, and she was of great age, having lived with her husband 7 years from her virginity. I think it means she was 7 years old when she was with, her betrothed guy or engaged. They used to do that years ago. And she, a widow still, she was 84. She did not depart from the temple, worshiping with fasting and prayer night and day, and coming up very hour, she gave thanks to God and spoke to all who were looking at the redemption of Jerusalem. And when they had performed these things according to the law of the Lord, they returned to the Galilee, to their own city of Nazareth. And the child grew and became strong, filled with wisdom, and the favor of God was upon him. First of all, if you note that it says that they, as a tradition, would come up and do this just to, have this ceremony, the circumcision, and the 2 turtle doves or two pigeons sacrifice. They used to do that just for the males, have a special ceremony. And And so, anyway, it was apparently this was a big deal. It's kind of like, we do baptism of babies, you know, um, which they didn't do back then. And, but, we in our Christian faith is an extension of the Jewish faith. We baptize babies. And so, anyway, they don't have this special little ceremony back then for the girls. Firstborn girl, It was always firstborn male. And I was involved with the feminist group when I was in seminary. And the most we would go, because feminist group sound kind of radical. Well, we would get together and read poetry and play music. Okay? We would get together and play pretty music, like some Native American low-key tour poetry. And so, I feel like these bugs are getting to me here. And then we have this old guy who wanted to live to see this baby. And so he lived to see the baby. And then we have Prophetess Anna, and she's living in the temple. She's a widow. And she had been with her husband since she was 7 years old. And he died. And I suspect that she was homeless and living there in that temple. Or maybe she just wanted to. But when I was, years ago, I was staying in an apartment that was right by a homeless shelter. And they would make the people there, it's called King's Harvest. It was downtown Davenport, Iowa. And they would make the old people, or just the homeless people, yes, they were old, they were seniors, they make them stand outside till 9 o'clock at night in the winter. In the winter. So I lived about a block from there. I would make up a thermos of hot cocoa and another thermos of hot coffee and bring little Dixie cups and give everybody something warm to drink to keep them warm. Because the wind would come right off the Mississippi River at that point and hit the front of that building that they were standing in front of. And I got the nickname, they called me Hot Cocoa or Hot Chocolate. I think it was funny. And anyway, they remember me still. I get on the city bus and they go, I remember you. And talk about my hot chocolate and my coffee that they used to serve. And those people are still around. And I think it was sad that that those people had to, had to stay in those shelters. And the city of Davenport should build an apartment building for the homeless people. There's about 300 chronically homeless people in the Quad Cities. And they're always homeless. Always. There are just some people that don't get along well with others, and for whatever reason, and they're always homeless. But we should have shelter for them. But the city of Davenport refuses. So they said, well, the Catholic Church does a better job. Well, the Catholic Church in Davenport has that program because the city refuses. Think about it. Think about it. So here you've got this elderly woman living in the temple, and she's doing them a service. She's kind of a prophetess. And she's continuing to work for God, to the day she dies. And they said that her husband died when she was 84, and they don't know how old she is. Okay, that tells me something. But this is what I see. I would like you to put your comments down below. Give me a thumbs up. Ring the little bell, and we will continue on in the tomorrow. Bye-bye.